Okay, hey there everybody, it's Emile, and on the line today I have Regina Chow. Some of you may know her. You've seen her on the wall, and you've seen her at some of the daily events that we have called A Day in the Life of Mr. Fat Loss. You've probably seen her in some of the photos. And now I have her on the line to discuss her journey with exercise and who she was before. Now, in order to give you an idea, and I didn't say this to you yet, Regina, but I have the picture that I showed you the other day of your before and your after. Do you mind that I show everybody?
No, go ahead.
Okay. This is, a presentation that I'm doing right now, but it pretty much tells the story here on the left of where you were before meeting me at M2 Fitness Pros in Long Beach, and your journey to right here on the right-hand side, which is just recently. We took this about a week ago. Can you talk to everybody about what was going on for you in your life here over on the left side prior to coming to M2, and then all that's transpired going on to the right side of the picture here?
Well, I guess I was busy with my work and doing my regular exercise routine regimen, but it wasn't really paying off. I wasn't kind of focused on anything in particular for my health or exercise. I guess at the time I was also in a long-term relationship that was probably not going so well. So it was kind of all the way around, probably not the best place for me at the time.
Okay. Now you're bringing something up that's a personal part of your process, but that's actually pretty important. And I'm glad you brought that up, because a lot of women and some guys, they're gonna want to look at changing their life, and for whatever reason, when we don't feel good, we tend to just not take care of ourselves. And I talk about it, getting ready for the next dance partner. But you made the decision to change your life. Now, were you exercising all that time and you just didn't hit the right spot, or what was it?
I was exercising throughout the time, but like I said, I was doing a lot more cardio things, and I didn't have a focus on anything that I was trying to work on physically. Okay,
so now we're in this relationship. Now describe your work. What is it, 40, 50, 60 hours a week?
It's the 40-hour work week, but it's mostly sedentary. I'm at my desk. I'm not, moving around that often, so it's just very mundane there.
Okay. Now, when you're what you were doing with your diet and your food, did you have any specific ideas about food at that point?
No, actually, I just was eating anything. I thought I was doing well in my food as far as eating like lean cuisine meals and things that I thought would help me stay on track. It wasn't really to lose weight, but just to eat a little better. But now I'm realizing that wasn't the way to do it either. Okay. Now,
the typical process. Now, I understand now you have a very expensive bike. You're into cycling and you ride a lot. Did you follow a lot of what a lot of cyclists and a lot of runners, philosophy is to carb up, and you thought maybe all carbs were the same?
Yeah, that was the mentality of preparing for long rides, long runs, was to carb up, and I didn't have any idea as to what the ideal amount was to be. So for whatever exercise I was doing, I was not paying attention to what I was eating. I was eating whatever I wanted, and that was my, I guess the detrimental part of it, without seeing any results from the exercise.
Okay. Now, your sister was actually first involved with us, and she came through and actually found me in the studio, and she's pretty thorough. She's pretty, focused, very, very bright, very intelligent, and she kind of did her research and checked me out, and then came in and we met, and I guess she was part of what made you help decide to check us out, or how did you find out about us?
Yes, it was through my sister Janet. She did was your client for some time. It's been at least for a year, and I was noticing difference in her.
Okay.
And she always kept encouraging come in, but I kind of put it off until I think I'm gonna try it. And
Okay. Your sister started up, and then you got a chance. Now, let me bring this up on the screen real quick. You decided last year I ran this, promotion, the Fat Loss Project, and this is the second year. And there's several people, and I think part of what draws some people, not necessarily, but we worked with a lot of the bikini models and things like that. Did you go through and look at what we were doing at M2 Fitness Pros and just kind of look at some of the stuff that was going on for us and see, wow, these people are all about getting these kinds of looks for the girls and people in general. Did you look at all that stuff when you started up, or you just kind of went off your sister's word and said, hey, I'm going to go try this out?
I would say the latter. I didn't really, I did go into the website, but I didn't look into it very thoroughly. I did notice the pictures of the girls and how they did, the people who did transformation and the ones that, were there already, I guess, from your studio.
Okay. Who
are already chiseled.
Yeah, we have, and I'm just kind of scrolling down some of the testimonials, and there's a lot of guys that come through, but some of the people, the 70-something-year-old judge that I've worked with, and there's your sister. Now, she came in and she was in a whole different place with hers, and she made a lot of progress. Her input was helpful at getting you started. Now, you started out and you went through the Fat Loss Project here. What part do you think was the most helpful for you going through this system?
I think understanding the food and how that affects, the activities that you do, that you actually are using it to fuel activity instead of just eating just to eat.
Okay. So developing a plan around your meals. And it's funny, I just was on Facebook, and then I went over to YouTube, and I was looking at how other people are, putting together plans, and I got to tell you, there's about a zillion ways out there that just seem kind of crazy to me, and they don't necessarily help you put together something that you can do every day. Do you feel fairly comfortable eating, the way that we've set up a plan for you, where you could possibly do this your entire life?
Yeah, it's something that is very realistically I can do for the rest of my life, and I see myself doing it differently now, because I would just know what that would mean for me. Okay.
The other part here, and I want to just kind of touch on it, it's a holiday today, and a lot of people are, enjoying their holidays, but, we encourage, and I encourage you guys to have what we talk about as a refeed day. Other people talk about them as a cheat day. Describe, what you're still able to do. Even though you eat really well and you exercise, what are you still able to enjoy? Are you able to enjoy a lot of your favorite foods, and what are they?
I do get to enjoy some of my favorite foods still. I actually cut out a lot of rice and bread, but that wasn't my thing. It's just some of the comfort foods that my mom would make. I could still eat that every once in a while. Okay. I don't cut out all carbs completely, so maybe 1 or 2 days I'll have an increase on the carbs per week.
Okay. And then,
but it's minimal.
Okay. And then, this is another one of those areas, and I get this question every holiday season from everybody, but the question is, if I was going to drink some alcohol, what would that alcohol be, and blah, 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 blah. I normally say, don't do it, but, that's kind of crazy. You're going to have some alcohol. You're going to have some ice cream. My favorite thing, is pancakes. Everybody knows that, but I've kind of shifted, and right now I'm enjoying pumpkin pie and a couple of things like that, but I don't eat like that all the time. Do you have any cocktails or drinks
Yes, I do.
You do, okay. And you know, I'm not
I
trying
enjoy
to.
my beers and wines.
Okay, so I'm not trying to throw you under the bus, but so you are you're able to do that. See, and I want the reason why I'm doing this is because a lot of people, they think that they can't do that, but if they exercise enough, and you said this the other night in the studio, where you were trying to explain to somebody, you know, if you're going to eat X amount of carbs, you need to be doing X amount of work. You know, and you cycle quite a bit. I mean, you went cycling today, plus you weight train. How many days a week right now are you cycling? How many days a week are you doing weight training and walking and so much? How much time do you think you have invested in each of those areas?
I do about 4 days now with the weight training, and then about one day, if I'm lucky, 2 days of cycling. And right now there's a minimum of 2 days I walk for over an hour or hour and a half.
Okay, so you basically walk a couple of days, you cycle a couple of days, and you weight train about 4 days. So, and then you have a day or two off, or how many days do you have off, or how do you do it?
I get 2 days off.
Okay, so basically you're spending, it sounds like 6-7 hours right now during a week?
At a minimum.
Yeah.
Cycling, it's at least 2 hours each time.
Okay, so. Yeah, so that's the part. You know, you cycle twice a week, but you go 2 hours, so that's 4 hours, and then you go to the gym, you said what, 4 days?
Yeah, that's at least 4 hours.
Yeah, so that's 4 hours, so that's 8 hours total, and then you go for your walks, which is also an hour, or 3 hours accumulated?
Total.
Yeah, so that's about 11 hours. So that's the other aspect, and I don't think people understand this. So they eat like they're working out like you do, but they're not doing those things. So they really have to be more dialed in with their food. Now your day, you sit a lot of the day, and you're exercising quite a bit, and you've seen your body change. How did you feel about how other people treated you when you view yourself on the left side, and then how do you feel now? You know, because I'm going to tell you, when I see you sometimes coming in from work, it's like that's like a whole different person.
Oh, I guess before, I didn't really notice how people treated me before, but I maybe get more attention now, maybe from like just the way I carry myself or the way I look.
Okay.
You know, the clothes I wear, because it's probably what I thought looked great then, and it definitely did look great. Whereas good at it do now. So,
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I go ahead. Yeah, it sounds like the cord might be wiggling around again, because I'm having you talk about stuff that kind of has you, you know, thinking through the process, but. You have gone through a major change, because it was about 25 pounds, but I think you've, you know, dropped even more, and you're a little bit tighter, a little bit more shapelier, you know, hips and thighs back. You've dropped a lot of body fat, so clothes are fitting you different, and you're carrying yourself different, and you are noticing a different reaction with people. Yeah. Yes,
I feel a lot like more confident about myself too. I want to, you know, out or about anywhere, talking to people and stuff. So it does make a change for me internally, I guess,
yeah.
Or how I see myself.
Yeah. Now, I think with your process, where do you see yourself going? Are you happy with where you are now? Does it feel like it's, you know, hard work? Do you look forward to training? How is it that you're viewing your workouts right now? Because a lot of people, I don't know what it is about exercise. There's not a large part of the population that really, you know, enjoys it. I mean, you are different in that, you know, you're into it, and a lot of people just can't flip that switch. What causes you to get, you know, more aggressive with your training? Because you're, like I said, you're very unique. So can you expand?
I feel like, first of all, I think it's, you know, for my own health and, you know, well-being. But more than anything, I like the challenge, and actually working out is what I look forward to every day. I mean, if I can, if I can do it, or I'm scheduled to do it, that's what I wanted to do.
Okay.
So like after a day of work, I just want to get to the gym and work out. And I think for me, it's a good way of managing stress level.
Yeah.
Whether it's stress from work or stress from home or anything, that's on my mind. Like kind of an escape in a way to not think about, normal things.
Yeah. Now that's, one of the things, and I don't, everybody does this for different reasons. They're going to do it to feel better. They're going to do it to look better. They're going to do it to perform better. And I think you're in a position where you're actually able to experience all three changes at the same time. It's something that I think that you're going to be doing for quite some time now. Is there any other things that you still want to do that you haven't been able to do? I mean, it's opened up your eyes. I don't think you were hiking. I don't think you were doing some of the things that you're able to do now. You're much more likely to want to attempt other things. And if so, what are they?
Yeah. As far as before I used to be a little kid during hiking, going on descents, and now I feel like from working and building my endurance and strength, it's helped in the way I see things and I balance. So definitely improved on that from this one other hike that I did recently. And as far as where I want to go, I think I could take it a lot further than where I'm at right now. I know this is going to sound weird. The way I actually look, it wasn't initially my key focus. As far as looking a certain way, it's like it came with this workout, and it was like the icing on the cake kind of thing, the extra piece I got.
Okay, well that's key. That's the key right there. Some people come in, unfortunately, only thinking about how they look, and unfortunately, in 30 days you're not going to get there. In 30 days, that you're just barely learning how to clean a house, how to clean up your diet. And you've been doing this now for over a year. I think this next few weeks here will be a whole year that you've done this. So it's been a slow process. You've made quite an investment in yourself, but it's paid off in a lot of ways, professionally, personally, and more importantly, you just feel happier. I think being able to cope with a lot of things in life. Does that sound about right?
Yes, I've been told that by other people who have noticed.
That you feel happier, or you seem to be happier?
Yes, that I'm happier now.
Okay. Now this is
my life.
Well, you've made a couple of changes in your life, but it wasn't anything out of the ordinary, other than you just started taking care of yourself, and that's the big plus. So I really appreciate you taking the time out and talking about this process for yourself, Regina. This is a tremendous change. You should be really, really happy about yourself. And I wanted to do this because I want to let other women and other people know about your process. It's not a fast overnight, like you see on The Biggest Loser and you see on these other programs. Yes, when a person has a lot of weight to lose, 50 to 100, it happens really quickly at first. And I'm sure you could say this, as you've gotten leaner, it's actually harder to get more lean as you become leaner.
Yes.
Yeah, so it takes a little bit of energy, a little bit of effort, but it's the challenge that's built into the process. So I just want to say thank you, Regina. You've done really, really well. And I know we have a photo shoot coming up here real soon, so you're definitely going to be in there showing off your goods. So that's going to be a fun time. That'll be January 3rd. And that'll be fun. Okay, so mark that in your calendar. I'm going to talk to everybody else about the M2 Pro Design program. There'll be a commercial being released about it here shortly on the internet. It's in production right now, and you are with Alan Fridas, the two people that I've seen have amazing progress in a relatively short period of time, and in a year that I consider short. I know some people say 30 days, but a year is relatively short in comparison to how long we've been on the planet. So you've been doing really, really well. Okay. Now, I'm going to sign this off here in a moment. Is there anything else like that you would say to somebody that was, asking you for advice about if there was one thing they should focus on? What would your advice be to them?
Probably to focus on them, taking care of themselves and doing what they need to do to get there. And if that requires, taking care of their health and exercising, then they should pursue that. And they should come see you.
Oh, well, I wasn't asking you that part, but I appreciate that. But you've seen the bigger change with just the change in your diet.
Yes.
Yeah. That's the take-home point. You can exercise all day long, but without the changing of the diet and matching that up with the activity level, will you either not perform well, you won't see the look, and you won't see or have that feeling. So you've managed to acquire all three and do a really excellent job at it. So I appreciate you taking the time, and then I will sign off this meeting here, but I just want to let everybody know the Fat Loss Project, we will start the launch on that actually tomorrow, Black Friday, right after Thanksgiving. Everybody's going to get a chance to come on board. You can go into an annual program on it, but we have a 24-week starting program for it. It's a month-to-month. You got to go into it, and you got to go into it believing it's going to work, because if Regina can do it and the 100 of other people that I've worked with over the years, you can do it too. So just give it your best effort. And my name is Emile Jarreau, aka Mr. Fat Loss on the internet. And M2 Fitness Pros, LBC in Long Beach on Pine. Our number 562-435-4639. We have 24-hour operators that'll take your information and say you saw this video or you want some help, and I'll help you in any way I can. Okay, and Regina, thank you very much. Get yourself some rest, and I think we're getting ready to train. Are you going to go train tomorrow? And I know we're going to train this weekend.
Yes, I'm going to train tomorrow.
Okay, of course you are.
Yep.
Good job. All right, I'm going to sign off to everybody else, but just hang out on the line, Regina. Hold on. Okay.